This divine inflow is unceasing and is accepted in what is good in good people, but not in evil ones. In them, it is either rejected or stifled or distorted. So they have an evil life that, spiritually understood, is a death. The spirits who are with us, both those united to heaven and those united to hell, never flow into us from their own memory and consequent thought. If they did flow into us from their own thought, it would seem to us exactly as though their character was our own. However, there does flow into us through them an affection from a love of what is good and true from heaven, and an affection from a love of what is evil and false from hell. So, to the extent that our own affection agrees with what is flowing in, we accept its influence in our thinking. This is because our more inward thought is in complete accord with our affection or love. To the extent that our own affection does not agree, we do not accept the influence. We can see from this that thoughts are not instilled into us by spirits, but only an affection for what is good or an affection for what is evil. This gives us a choice because it gives us freedom. It means that in our own thought, we can accept what is good and reject what is evil, since we know from the word what is good and what is evil. What we accept in thought from affection becomes part of us, while what we do not accept in thought from affection does not become part of us. This enables us to determine the nature of the inflow into us of the good from heaven and of the evil from hell. I have been enabled to learn where we get the anxiety, distress of the mind, and inward sadness called depression. There are spirits who are not yet united with hell because they are still in their first state, which will be described later when we talk about the world of spirits. They love half digested and noxious substances, like the foods that are becoming excrement in the stomach. So they attach themselves to the same sort of matter in us because they find delight in it, and they talk with each other there out of their evil affection. The emotional tone of their conversation flows into us, and since it is contrary to our affection, it brings about a sadness and an anxious depression. While if it agrees with our affection, it brings about a sense of happiness and exhilaration. These spirits can be seen in the neighborhood of the stomach, some on the left and some on the right, some lower and some higher, nearer or farther away, variously depending on the affections they are involved in. A great deal of experience has convinced me that they are the source of our anxiety of spirit. I have seen them, heard them, felt the anxieties that well up from them. I have talked with them. They have been driven off and the anxiety has ceased. They have come back and the anxiety has returned. I have observed its increase and decrease as they drew near and moved away. It has become clear to me then where that anxiety originates, that is blamed on a stomach ache by people who do not know what conscience is because they do not have any. Heaven's union with us is not like the union of one person with another, but is a union with the deeper levels of our minds and therefore with our spiritual inner person. There is, though, a union with our natural or outer person by correspondences, which union will be discussed in the next chapter when I deal with heaven's union with us by means of the Word. I will also explain in the next chapter that heaven's union with us and our union with it are of such nature that each relies on the other. I have talked with angels about the union of heaven with the human race, and I've told them that church people actually do say that everything good is from the Lord and that there are angels with us, but few people really believe that angels are so close to us, much less that they are in our thought and affection. The angels have told me that they knew this kind of empty belief and talk occurred in the world, especially, which astonished them, in the church, where people have the word that teaches them about heaven and its union with them, yet, in fact, the union is so vital that we could not think the least thought apart from the spirits who are with us. Our spiritual life depends on this. They said that the reason for this ignorance was that people believe they live on their own without any connection with the ultimate reality of life, and do not know that there is this connection through the heavens. Yet, if that connection were severed, we would instantly drop down dead. If we believed the way things really are, that everything good comes from the Lord and everything evil from hell, then we would not take credit for the good within us or blame for the evil. Whenever we thought or did anything good, we would focus on the Lord, and any evil that flowed in, we would throw back into the hell it came from. But since we do not believe in any inflow from heaven or from hell, and therefore believe that everything we think and intend is in us and from us, we make the evil our own and defile the good within our feeling that we deserve it. That is from Heaven and Hell by Emanuel Swedenborg, starting just before number 298 and reading through 302.